Welcome back to From the Couch podcast. We are on episode 11. It is May 27th. Welcome back, fella. And we want to wish you guys all a happy Memorial Day. Hope you guys enjoyed the holiday. Salute out there to all of our servicemen and women out there who serve around our country and around the world. Thank you guys for your service, and it is never forgotten. So I hope you guys enjoyed that Memorial Day. We got Peter here this week. How are we doing?
Doing good. Just a little bit of craziness going on in life, but other than that, I'm doing just fine.
That's all we can do is make it as good of a situation as possible. And so let's get right into the sports. So we got a bit of rapid fire news. Number one, the NHL playoffs. They're still in continued session, and the Golden Knights have secured their spot into the Stanley Cup Finals. And we are currently awaiting their opponent for the finals. So the Canadiens and Hurricanes, they are currently playing right now, with the Hurricanes leading 3-0. Series overall is 2-1. So I'll be interested to see who's going to take this series and who's going to be meeting those Golden Knights here in our final game for the NHL playoffs. On top of that, MLB continues to be shaking things up. And just like how the Reds had their complete collapse in April, the Cubs have now gone themselves on a 10-game losing streak. So shout out to the Cubs on continuing to disappoint just like the Reds. Sounds like a pattern going on here in the NL Central to me, personally.
I can I just say this right quickly in the rapid news. The Cubs went on a 10-game winning streak before this losing streak happened, and then all of a sudden, like, everything just went straight south. I don't know what happened.
Absolute collapse. I mean, I feel like I'm pretty sure the last episode we recorded, we were talking about how good the Cubs are, and now perhaps we striked their luck a little bit.
I did hear someone say that it is the return of the Billy Goat curse, because apparently the guy that cursed the Cubs died, and as soon as he died, the curse they start going on the 10-game losing streak. Coincidence? I think not.
Good pull. Well, I will say here in other news, and who knows, maybe we're going to ruin some streaks here, but the Atlanta Braves are currently leading the NL right now. They have 37 wins on their season so far, while in the AL, that is actually going to the Tampa Bay Rays with 34 wins right now. So two stellar teams going on right now, and things are really heating up here as we get closer to the midseason of the MLB. But Peter, you got any takes here in regards to some of this news?
Again, like, for the Cubs, like, it's just weird. Like, again, like, we already touched on it, and trust me, for everyone that's a baseball fan listening to this and watching this on YouTube and Spotify, again, we appreciate you guys tuning in. But we will get into a whole entire episode just entirely dedicated to the MLB soon. It's just the fact that there's just a lot going on right now with Stanley Cup Finals, the NBA playoffs is still resuming. So we'll do a full-on dedicated episode, and just a little bit of a tidbit: we might have a special guest for that episode. Just throwing that out there.
Putting that out there.
Yeah,
interesting.
Yeah, just putting that out there. But yeah, like, Atlanta's amazing. Tampa Bay is just holding on by the skin of their teeth right now. Because there's a lot of really good teams in the AL East are, like, really sticking it with them. The New York Yankees. But really overall, it's been a really fun and, like, very interesting MLB season, because there's a lot of very good competitive teams this year.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, there's a lot of interesting storylines going on. I mean, I really personally did not expect the Tampa Bay Rays to have this performance coming in. It almost seems like they've seen a resurgence ever since their stadium got devastated by the Hurricanes, and now I believe this is their first season back playing in Tropicana Field since that hurricane. Yep. So there seems like there's been some turnaround, and I'm sure their fans are getting real hyped up for it. I mean, like I said, I went there just over a month now, and I will say their fans have been pretty exciting.
Death, taxes, Rays baseball. Repeat cycle.
Repeated cycle for them, indeed. Yeah. And on top of that, I was actually just talking with a friend earlier, briefly about the NL Central. It feels like we're getting ready for our midseason form of the collapse of pretty much every team except for the Brewers.
Dude, I saw Dustin May today for the Cardinals throw out 7 no-hit innings and still lost the game.
Yeah,
I
not too
want to
great.
know what black magic the Brewers are using. I don't understand this team. They traded away Freddie Peralta and got rid of him for next to nothing, and they're still a good team. We lost to a guy that right now has a 2.0 ERA, and I haven't even heard of this dude in my life. I'm pretty sure he's just some MLB The Show generated player that they threw on the mound. He's 9-0 in the year with a 2 ERA. Make it make
Yeah, I
sense.
mean,
It doesn't.
it did. I think that's the whole thing with the NL Central. There's such a storyline with how these teams perform, and I think the number one theme, which I think we can probably get a whole dedicated episode on, honestly, is the pitching story in the NL Central. I don't understand it. Things do not make sense, and clearly, this is something that needs probably a further analysis on. So,
Mm-hmm.
let us know, fans, if you want us to do a deep dive into the NL Central, because there is way too much going on there. So outside of that, we got, unfortunately, we have to talk about Aaron Rodgers. Uh,
Boo.
a couple weeks ago, he did officially re-sign as the Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback. He's on a 1-year deal for $25 million. If you guys follow us on Instagram, TikTok, any of our social medias, you probably did see I made a little bit of an initial reaction to it. To kind of go a little bit further into it, I'll give my thoughts on what I think about this move. But Peter, why don't you take the lead on this? How do you feel about Aaron Rodgers returning to Pittsburgh?
9-8 Super Bowl. That's all it is. 9-8 Super Bowl. Standard is a standard. Again, like we already talked about this during one of our episodes in Rant Fest about really what the Steelers are doing. We went into this season like they need to blow it up. They desperately need to go into a rebuild because again, like players like Cameron Hayward, he's getting up into his upper 30s. Like he's not the same player as he used to be. Even though again, he's a great team leader. Again, like 37 years old, it's a little dicey. TJ Watt's going into like what is age 31, 32 season right now, so it's not looking great either. And he came off a year where he didn't play that great. And here's the problem too. Like if you look at the Steelers roster, it's like, are they even close to being competitive? Are they close to being like this all-encompassing, like run away with the not the NFC North, the AFC North? The answer is no. Like, let's be honest. Cincinnati is still there with Joe Burrow. Baltimore is still there with how good that team is as a whole. And Cleveland is not that far off of as long as they can figure out one, head coach, and then two, quarterback. If they get those two things figured out, that team could easily go on and win the division because that defense last year was terrific. And we're talking about the fact that Myles Garrett is just wasting away in Cleveland. I just don't understand this signing, especially with $25 million for 1 year. Like how like you could have easily talked Aaron into taking a discount and signing for 10, and you could have easily gotten a supplement of players to help out in the running back room, which is the fact that that's a massive black hole right now in terms of the team right now, because running back is just an absolute mystery with them heading into training camp. Offensive line needs some help. The secondary last year, woof, like that whole entire secondary needs some depth and some help. So the fact that Aaron Rodgers is commanding $25 million in the cap space, as well as the fact that he strung along the Steelers and the fact that he's now 3 for 3 on hostage negotiations, I don't know. Like that, it's just mind boggling to me.
Hostile takeover. That's what it is.
3 for 3 hostage negotiations. It works every time. He did it with the Packers. He did it with the Jets, and he's done it with the Steelers. It needs to be studied.
Deep dive on that coming out. But I would, yeah, and outside of how Aaron Rodgers handles things, I got to talk about how the Steelers handles things. And again, I think I went on a little bit of a rant in the Rant Fest episode, but the biggest thing that continues to plague the Steelers is they are playing safe, and they feel like they're in the middle. They're playing at a level where we feel like we're going all out. This is a roster we're putting together to go and win a Super Bowl, but we're also down here because of how much we're paying players, our veteran guys that are on this team, and what could be potentially holding us back from even winning a playoff game. We're stuck. This is the levels right here. We're stuck here in the middle. This is where it's been for the longest time, probably since, honestly, when Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell were still on the team. That 2017 season that we had, that was our last real opportunity to win a Super Bowl. That was an incredible team, and it's been a downhill ever since. I still have my full respects on Ben Roethlisberger. I love the time we had with him, even leading up to his final retirement in his last game. It was incredible, but things just changed so much with the way the Steelers organization wanted to go about things, playing it too safe, bringing in these veteran guys, and at the same time trying to put a team together that makes it look like they're ready to go win a Super Bowl. I think the best example in recent history is, number one, bringing in Aaron Rodgers. Of course, he just came off of his time with the Jets organization, and this is a veteran guy, a known MVP. So you think, okay, let's bring this guy in because I think that's just what we need to go and win a Super Bowl. It's our QB situation. That's our main problem. That's not the only problem we are dealing with. The running back situation hasn't been incredible. It hasn't been incredible since Le'Veon Bell. Honestly, I would say that. It's been miss after miss. But that production also is stopped by our offensive line, who just continues to play horrid and doesn't feel like it's getting any more development. I did appreciate their draft this year and drafting a few good guys that could hopefully improve that line. Broderick Jones, he's actually been an improvement these past few seasons, so I'm loving his performance so far. But
if he comes back from his
outside of those
injury.
things, if he comes back, yeah, that's a factor that we can't even figure out right now. But another thing that's been plaguing us is wide receivers. We went and got rid of George Pickens for a pick from the Cowboys, which obviously we used that pick in this past draft, and probably
Or
would say it
Drew
wasn't
Aller.
the the best use of that trade we made, personally, in my opinion. But
Can
but
I
yeah,
also add something on Levi a little bit to what you were saying?
yeah.
I
Go ahead.
think that's been like the big problem. Like they have been like kind of like you alluded to, and I've said it before in the past. The Steelers' mentality is they always think they are one piece away from being like going over the top, being this like Super Bowl contending team. They thought it was
Hmm.
with, let's just draft George Pickens to go alongside uh who was the other wide receiver before DK?
Oh, it was
Oh,
I know who you're
I'm
thinking of. I can't
forgetting.
think of his name, but he's not on the roster anymore. I know that for
Yeah,
sure.
he's not on the roster
Um,
anymore. But
I
like
think of it.
again, it's always it was about like, hey, let's add Minkah Fitzpatrick to fix our secondary. Minkah Fitzpatrick alone with four to five other guys in the secondary with him, he alone will solve our secondary. What? Like, this is a team sport. Yes, there are certain players that are very, very good that you have to pay the money towards. But the problem is the fact that the Steelers' mentality is like it's almost like basketball to them, where it's like one player will change the trajectory of our franchise. That's not how football goes. Football is won in the trenches. Football is won by adding in players that, hey, they may not be great, but they're supplemental and they could add something to the roster that, let's just be honest, that we need in terms of depth. Like that's how Philadelphia has been so dominant over the last like 5 years because of the fact that they can interchange and move players defensively into certain positions for them to succeed, as well as that offensive line has been amazing. And they've
Mhm.
drafted smart. I mean, like they've done smart deals. Like again, like there's a whole lot of drama with Nick Sirianni and how he's been handling a lot of things in terms of the culture. That's a whole nother topic. But it just doesn't make sense that the Steelers front office mentality is just so frustrating.
Yeah, I mean, I 100% agree. This is just the frustration that's been building up inside of me for the past 5 years. But so like when you go into the wide receiver, when you go into the wide receiver problem, again, like we acquired DK Metcalf last year in the offseason. So we're in the midst of the offseason, and Steeler fans, they're probably itching for some news, and they have hopes that we can go and win it next year. So when the announcement comes that DK Metcalf is joining the team, we're like, oh, we're bringing in this veteran guy, but he's still a really good player. There's no question that we're going to have a chance to go win it all this year. We have Aaron Rodgers as our quarterback too, so he's got a great person to throw to. But what happened? We don't have a very good don't have any good wide receiver twos or threes out there. And so now when we go into this off season right now where we go and acquire Michael Pittman Jr., you're probably thinking that in my mind, I'm probably thinking the same thing as we did a year ago, that we're fighting to compete and there's going to be an opportunity for us to go win some playoff games and potentially a Super Bowl. And yeah, as a Steelers fan, in my mind, that's the mentality you want to have. You want to have that every single year, but our expectations have to be severed a little bit because we know the expectation that we've been dealing with for 10 years now. We're going to go into a wild card game and we're going to get destroyed and absolutely embarrassed by a team. You remember that Browns game? I know you know that one all too well, and that's one that I want to forget, but
The
that's
nameless
just a
gray
perfect
faces
example
game.
of, it's a perfect example of a game you do not want to remember and has really bleeded into the mentality they go into in these wild card games. So when you put all this together, it's a continued cycle. They can't decide whether they want to be good enough or if they want to be bad enough, and we get stuck in that vicious cycle. We're going to be just mediocre, and it seems like it's going to be mediocre forever. So when you go and decide let's wait out for Aaron Rodgers to see what he's going to do, that's cool. You want to do what you want to do. If you think that him coming back is going to improve the team, I don't know how that locker room performs, what's going on in there. If you think this is the smartest move, sure. We have a new head coach and Mike McCarthy. My expectations aren't too high with him given like his history once he went to Dallas, but if they think that getting a new head coach and bringing back a guy who actually played for Mike McCarthy is going to be improvement, sure, you can go about that, but I just don't want us to continue to be on this high that all Steelers
I
fans are dealing with right now.
I think the biggest problem again with the Steelers right now is the fact that like I just don't understand like why you placated towards Aaron Rodgers and why you were holding on to like, well, maybe if Aaron Rodgers comes back, maybe we might contend for Super Bowl. Like you have a lot. There's a really good quarterback class in this upcoming draft class for the NFL.
Mhm.
Like very good. Like Dante Moore's the top of that list. I think that he's going to be amazing. And look, the last time the Steelers drafted what in the top 5 or top 10, I think it's top 5, was when they got Ben Roethlisberger. And
I believe
it,
so. Yeah.
and the problem is right now is the fact of like this organization's mentality is like stick with the status quo and just we'll string the fans along. We'll make a wild card appearance, get blown out because we're not good enough. And look, like Aaron Rodgers, guys, let's just be honest. Everywhere he goes, he creates drama. It happened in New York. He got Robert Saleh fired. It happened in Green Bay. He got Mike McCarthy fired when he was in Green Bay. And Aaron Rodgers, it's well known that he absolutely did not like Matt LaFleur at all. And Matt LaFleur did not respect Aaron Rodgers in turn. He just saw him as a good player. He had to placate his whole offense to Rodgers' talent. And when push came to shove, LaFleur's like, I will stick with Jordan Love than stick with Aaron Rodgers. And he went to the Jets. And Levi, you and I remember very, very well. Robert Saleh was not a fan of Aaron Rodgers. And again, the whole entire Jets organization bent over backwards for Aaron Rodgers. They got him Nathaniel Hackett, who was a god awful offensive play caller and god awful head coach during the past few years in the NFL's history. And Robert Saleh wanted to bench Aaron Rodgers to go with somebody else because he know the fact that Aaron's not playing good. And guess what? He got fired because the Jets were just like, no, you're not benching him because he's our multi-million dollars, several uh, time MVP. But he's like, I can't placate the rest of my team's talent to one guy who, again, his arm strength and his elusiveness are his two biggest strengths, and they are completely gone. And it's the same thing with the Steelers. Look at what they're doing. They're bringing in Michael Pittman to help supplement Aaron Rodgers because he can't toss it deep anymore. DK Metcalf. They're going to have to probably reteach DK Metcalf how to route run to placate towards Aaron Rodgers styles. And look, like I understand people are going to be like, oh, like it's Aaron Rodgers. He can figure it out. It's like he's 42 years old and he played a vast majority of last year with a broken wrist. And he didn't go in shotgun. He played a vast majority of that season under center because he couldn't catch the ball with his broken wrist. So I just
Mhm.
don't understand how every time like teams are like, let's placate towards Aaron Rodgers. Like, no, you have to have a player placate to what you want the offense to be. Patrick Mahomes didn't change who he was. Patrick Mahomes had an elite arm talent. Andy Reid, look what happened. He went with from Alex Smith to Patrick Mahomes. Reid did his whole entire offense to where Mahomes started tossing bombs down the field to Tyreek Hill, to Travis Kelsey, to Rashee Rice, and all these times that they've gone to the Super Bowl several times and won the Super Bowl. Why? Because Andy Reid redefined the whole entire offense to match the play style of his quarterback that he knew, hey, this is his biggest strength. Let's just wrap our whole entire offense around said strength. And look what happened. Patrick Mahomes has won Super Bowl, what, like 3-4 times already? And the
Yeah,
Chiefs are still, even right now, as like they're in a quote unquote rebuild, they're still a contender to be in the playoffs.
it's crazy. It's crazy. That's, but it would kill me, man, to see the Steelers do something like that. But overall, it's just I personally would have been okay. I would have been okay if he did not return because I'm ready for us to go into that full rebuild and see us completely fall apart. I it, I know a lot of teams would love this, but I really want to have 3 wins this season because I think this, like you said, this QB class coming up is going to be great. There's a lot of opportunities for talent there. Clearly, it seems that they don't have enough trust in, well, Drew Aller, obviously, he's just got drafted. They haven't even given Will Howard a shot yet. And then we have Mason Rudolph, who's a longtime veteran, and he's just enough to get by. But clearly, they don't want to even have to deal with those guys. They want to have a veteran presence who is known to win games and get to playoffs, and that's exactly why they chose to meet Aaron Rodgers' needs. So I hope that
Mm-hmm.
after this season, regardless of the outcome, they need to be ready for a brand new QB to bring in, whether it's one of the guys that are on our roster, someone from the free agency, or drafting a QB. I would much prefer drafting a QB or even one of the guys on our roster. Again, with Will Howard, I would love that. But they got to do something. They got to do something. And I'm ready for the full rebuild. It has to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, Levi, we got some extremely serious talk that we have to discuss. Yesterday, Josh Jacobs, Packers running back, was arrested and charged with 5 different charges. Um, one of them being assault, intimidation, as well as some domestic violence situations. Um, really, overall, very serious charges. As we are recording this, Josh Jacobs has left jail. Um, right now, the I think it's like the Browns County district attorney said that they are still It's still an ongoing investigation, but those charges are still placated towards Josh Jacobs. As we are recording this right now, the Packers have not put out a formal statement. Josh Jacobs has put out a statement through his lawyer saying that he is innocent and these charges are completely false. Um, Levi, I'll toss it to you. How really does this impact the Packers, especially with them going almost into training camp soon? And therefore, how does this also affect Josh Jacobs as well?
Yeah, and I mean, just to kind of disclose here, you know, we do not condone any behavior by any player in any sport, and it's something that should not be happening. And it's just kind of sad that these players get into these situations. With that said, I know we can't confirm whether everything is for certain yet. But all I will say is this: if this indeed happened, the NFL is going to let him play, like it or not. It does not matter as the situation. The NFL always finds a way to get these players to play. Whether they fine them or suspend them for a couple games, he's still going to be on that field, like it or not, because with all of the things that happen, it doesn't seem like they ever get anywhere with it. And these players, in some fashion, they get to move on with their lives and continue on playing in their respective sport. So, if these allegations are indeed true, they'll probably suspend him, fine him, but he's going to still be on that field regardless. He could be out. I'm thinking maybe a suspension of like 5-6 games. I could see that happening, but so I don't know. I feel like with all the things that happen, it seems like every offseason with players getting in more and more trouble, feels like they need to start pressing harsher charges on the NFL and impacting these players' decisions and what they do. Like it really needs to have an impact. Um, so in terms of like now getting to the actual sports of it, if he gets suspended for a few games, that's definitely going to hurt the Packers. He's their, oh, what's the word for it? I guess he's the bread
He's, he's their
for the
bell
team.
cow.
Bell cow, thank you. He's the bell cow for the team, and his presence is made very well known on the field. He's probably got to be like a top 5, maybe top 10 running
I
back.
would say top 10. Yeah.
Uh, Top 10, I would probably say. So his impact, whether it's there or not, is going to be known for the Packers. I still think Jordan Love's a phenomenal player, and I think he can make do without them. I just think it's just going to be a little more difficult for him. So if he gets suspended, they probably, I haven't looked at their full schedule, but all I can say, it just got a little bit more difficult for them.
Yeah. I will say this right now. Again, for our sake, again, like these charges are not definitive. Like again, like he's not being like he's still got to go to court. So again, this is a whole entire thing. Again, these are allegations. These are something that again the DA has to look into. And again, like we have to also understand the fact that people are innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. That is the foundation of the American justice system, albeit there are some flaws in the American justice system. That being said, like kind of like what you were saying, Levi, the NFL has a massive issue when it comes to players that are involved in very violent crimes. I mean, shoot, like Rasheed Rice last year got suspended, what, 6 games for being involved in a
Something like
drag race where sadly someone passed away. And
that.
even though he himself didn't cause that person to pass away, he was still involved in that, and they suspended him 6 games for it. Like,
Yeah.
mind you, this is not one charge. Where it's like most of the time, like when players get charged, it's usually for like one charge, and they get spend like a couple games, maybe 4 games, so on and so forth. Josh Jacobs gets charged with 5 different charges. That's a lot for one guy.
Yeah.
And I think overall, like the NFL still hasn't figured it out. I've been harping this, and Levi, you can attest to this because of the times that we've known each other. I am very sick and tired of these leagues, and this isn't just for the NFL. This goes for the NBA, the NHL, the MLB, so on and so forth. They do a very terrible job of putting down harsh penalties on individuals who commit violent crimes. It's been happening for tale as old as time. They always
Mm-hmm.
turn a blind eye because you want to know why? Because these players are products. They want to put the product on the field. Because Josh Jacobs is a good player, they're probably not going to suspend him for the whole season, even though, potentially speaking, like he could potentially go to prison for these charges. It's not like, oh, like you get a pat on the back and be like, next time don't do that. It's like, if this is any other person in America, they're going to prison for years of their lives. But because this is an NFL player, he somehow gets a pass, and it was like, well, you get suspended like 4 games, which is equivalent of getting suspended a month away from work, and then you can go back to work. That's
Mm-hmm.
not how the rest of society works. I don't understand how. Again, this isn't just a Josh Jacobs thing. And again, like some people are gonna probably point like to my Bears flags, be like, "Oh, I'm hating on Josh Jacobs because I'm a Bears fan." It's like, no, like what happened with who was that Ravens player? That James Pierce, I think, Jr.
I
He was the
think
guy that,
so.
yeah, he was the guy that was dating that WNBA girl that he ran his car into her car because they broke up and he started freaking out. Um, or like a good example is what happened with Ray Rice. Levi, you remember the Ray Rice incident back when it occurred, where the NFL suspended him for like a few games, and then the video came out. It's like, oh, like he's suspended for this amount of games. It's like, dude, it's like you got to, again, one, do your due diligence, because obviously the Players Association is going to placate towards the player, protect the players, and say, hey, these penalties are too harsh. But at some point, the NFL, in terms of their wheel of discipline, have to say the buck stops here in terms of the fact that they have to make an example out of a player. And I think when you have a player that has 5 separate charges, 3 of them are very serious. Or let's just be honest, all these charges are very serious.
Mm-hmm.
The fact
Absolutely.
that the NFL is just putting their hands up in the air, going, "Well, you did a not so nice thing. You get suspended 3 games." What are we talking about? This isn't just, oh, like a kid, like, oh, like you get timeout for like, or you get grounded for a couple
Go
weeks.
sit. Go sit in the corner.
Yeah, go sit in the corner. It's like this, like again, like I already said, this is a serious crime. And if it was any other person that did this, they're potentially going to prison for at least 5, 10, 15, maybe 20 years of their lives. Josh Jacobs
Mm-hmm.
might potentially not face one, any jail time for this, and then two, he might be back in the on the field in probably October, maybe end of September. Like this
Yeah.
cannot be a thing that is a reoccurring thing with the NFL. If the NFL is going to say we condone violence that our players put out on individuals, specifically women, they have to make an example of a player. I don't. Again, Josh Jacobs is, it's there right now in front of them. What they do with this is how people are going to perceive this. And again, I've seen a ton of content creators, Packers fans, Bears fans, Raiders fans, or just NFL fans in general saying something's got to happen to where the NFL puts their foot down and says enough is enough. We have to do something in regards to our player conduct off the field. It's getting ridiculous.
It's just gotten so bad that yeah, it just seems like any penalty that's given now is it's just like a slap on the wrist at that point. There's no impact. That doesn't feel like they're dealing with real consequences. Oh my gosh, you lost money. You're already getting paid millions of dollars a
Millions of
year,
dollars,
like,
yeah.
and you're like, oh, losing money to me is like nothing. Suspensions, sure, I get suspended. At least I still get to play. But it's like you said, it feels like a whole different system is used for celebrities, athletes, if they get into these tricky situations, compared to common Americans who may be facing jail time for 20, 30 years of their lives. It's a big deal, and I think all respective sports really need to put their foot down on these situations and reevaluate and say, hey, like we can't let these people get away with this. We have to provide harsher consequences for their actions. We need to show them that there is major consequences for the things that they do.
Right. And again, like, it's tricky, I think, for one, the Packers. I think it's tricky for the NFL too, because again, like these are allegations. And again, like they have to go through due process. They have to get enough evidence to see whether or not these charges are legitimate. Because again, like there's been plenty of times in the past where sadly people have accused athletes of certain crimes that they just didn't commit. That has happened. A perfect example is hey, Levi, you remember this, is when Terrence Shannon from Illinois. He got he got charged with a very serious crime in Kansas. And again, I can't say the word for monetization reasons. You
Mm-hmm.
can look it up with your own due diligence. They went to trial, and Terrence Shannon's like, I did not do this crime that I am being accused of. And mind you, he could have potentially went to jail. Like he was a college student when this was happening. And they went to court and they found out, yes, this allegation that was made against him was a complete and false accusation. Again, this happens at the college level, it happens at the pro level, and again, it puts these teams and it puts these leagues in a very complicated issue because they can't just go, "Oh, Josh Jacobs did this. Okay, you get it suspended for the whole year," without seeing any of the evidence, without doing their due diligence, talking to the NFLPA, trying to see if it violates any bylaws, as well as the fact that if you're the team, like again, certain teams have different team policies. Levi, I don't know if you know this, but it's like the Eagles have a zero tolerance policy when it comes to violent crimes against women. If a player gets charged with, violent crime against a woman, automatically cut from the team. Or if they have a history of it, they don't even sign the player. Like certain teams have certain policies set in place. I don't
That's
know what
good.
that's like with the Packers. I don't know what that's like with the Bears. I don't know what that's like with the Steelers. Each team has different policies, but again, if you're the Packers, it's very hard because like this is a very good player that you have on your roster, but I just don't know. Again, like it's hard for the Packers to really go out there, make a statement regarding this without trying to alienate Josh Jacobs, but also trying not to alienate their fan base that rightfully so is very concerned, not just for Josh Jacobs, because obviously his availability on the field, but also for the greater part of the NFL saying when is enough in terms of like allowing these players to get slaps on the wrist for doing crimes like these without any repercussions.
Yeah, if these allegations do come true, NFL, Packers, whatever, whoever gets the last say, we need to have some harsher consequences. This is like it or not, this is still a job. If this was like our you and me's 9 to 5 jobs, we're getting fired if we end up in a situation like that. That's they are you're done. You're done. This shouldn't be. This is still a job. There shouldn't be any exception for the actions you do. You really gotta lay down the law and don't let them get away with things. I know it hurts your guys' organization and you lose money off of it, but like it or not, there is a justice system out there that nobody should be immune to. No one should be immune to the law. And that's that.
Yeah.
So, moving on into some more exciting news, Peter, the New York Knicks are in the NBA Finals.
Bing bong, bing bong, bing bong, bing bong, bing bong, bing bong, bing bong. It's the Knicks. It's the Knicks. I'm sorry, I had to do that. I've been flowing so many of those reels and videos on my social media feeds. New York fans, you deserve this. You've been through you've been put through the ringer, and just I am surprised that New York didn't burn down to the ground when they went to the finals. If they win the finals, still on the table. Still on the
Yeah,
table.
let's talk about their success a little bit. I mean, if you look at this entire playoff series this year, they've proven themselves so much. Every single team that they've gone up against, they've they've either swept them or they won like two games. Like when they faced the Knicks and Hawks, they won that series 4-2. They beat the 76ers, sweep, and then they just swept the Cavs. And now they're here they are. And initially when we made our initial playoff predictions and who we were probably thinking was going to get there, I mean, we were talking about the Thunder, we were talking about the Spurs. We obviously had brought the Knicks up and the Celtics, but with the history that the Knicks have had for nearly more than a decade, we probably didn't fully expect them to actually get there. This team has been through the ringer for so long, and here they are in the NBA Finals since 1999. This is crazy. I got to shout out those New York Knicks fans because man, that city is going to
Timothy
be
Chalamet, Chris
insane.
Rock, Kylie Jenner,
Ben
Jason
Stiller.
Bateman, John Bon Jovi, Ben Stiller,
Mhm.
Tracy Morgan, Spike Lee. Okay, Levi, I have a quick question for you in regards to this, okay? Do you want to
Mhm.
know, because they put up the tickets already for sale for New York Knicks games in the Garden for the finals? Do you want to
Uh-huh.
know how expensive a courtside seat is at Madison Square Garden for this NBA Finals?
60 grand.
Higher.
Higher?
Higher.
80?
Higher.
A million?
Whoa. Okay.
No.
Well,
Okay.
they're not buying a player. They're not getting a player. Calm
um,
down.
what, like maybe like 150?
Last I saw, it was about like $100,000 for a courtside seat. One singular courtside
Wow.
seat's $100,000, which is
That's
crazy.
crazy.
It is crazy,
You're only going to be
but
seeing celebrities there. That's crazy.
100%. But to talk about the New York Knicks, I mean, just take a look at really this team again. Like again, I know Levi, you don't really follow much outside of like the Lakers. But for our viewers and listeners, it's like if you go back 1 year, they had Tom Thibodeau as their head coach. They fired him because they choked against the Pacers. Even though the fact that the Knicks on paper were the better team, had better players top down, they just couldn't get it done. They fired Tom Thibodeau, brought in Mike Brown, and this team, albeit during the regular season, like no one really took them seriously because like they got out to a bad start. They were just more like very meh through the year. Even though they were a 3 seed, it's like they just didn't go over the top like the Pistons were. They weren't over the top like the Spurs were or the Thunder were. And we'll get to Spurs and Thunder later. But overall, like when you look at the team, it's like this is just a well orchestrated team that plays really good defense. If stuff hits the fan, they get it out the mud. But the fact that they just buried, and I mean buried, the 76ers, they buried the Cavs. They came back from down 2-1 versus the Hawks. They haven't lost a playoff game, Levi, in a month, which is crazy.
Yeah.
And really overall, like New York Knicks fans can say this is probably the best team that they've had since the Ewing era. Like, yeah, you had Carmelo Anthony and Amari Stoudemire and all those good players back in the early 2010s, but this is a whole different New York Knicks team. Like, Jalen Brunson is easily a top 10 player in this league right now. There's no question about it. Karl Anthony Towns, we all make fun of Karl Anthony Towns on this podcast and on media in general. But like Karl Anthony Towns had a very good playoffs run right now. Is he like this dominant force in the game? Not really, but he doesn't need to be. He just needs to be a good, really player in the system that they're in. OG Ananobi has been amazing. Mikal Bridges, albeit like he hasn't lived up to the expectations of those 5 first-round picks that they spent to trade him on, but he's been a very good player. It's like the system that they all have around for their starting five is awesome. But Levi, get this. The Knicks have had the second fewest minutes played by their starting lineup in the NBA Finals, I believe, since like 1998 or something like that.
Say that again.
Their starting lineup has the second fewest minutes played in these playoffs going into the NBA Finals, I believe, since 1998. I saw a stat on ESPN. Again, it's out there. I could be completely wrong on that, but it's crazy. Like their starting lineup barely plays because their bench is also very good. Like Mitchell Robinson coming in, like helping Cat on the defensive end, and Landry Shamet getting a vet minimum contract and playing easily some of the best basketball of his career right now in the playoffs has been incredible. Like the New York Knicks, I mean, like just shout out to really that whole team, that whole organization, that whole city in general, because dude, Knicks fans, if they play the Thunder, if they play Spurs, they are going to travel. It's no doubt in my mind they're going to travel to those places and make their presence known. Like it's awesome to see. Like I'm not a Knicks fan. I'm a Bulls fan, so I'm in purgatory as an NBA fan. But the Knicks, like this is just a really really good team.
And we're talking about all their success too, and I really hope that they have a good shot here in the finals. Whoever they have to play here once the Thunder Spurs series wraps up. Um, but man, it's I hope they don't hope the movie Soul with 22 talking about her messing with the New York Knicks. I really hope that's not about to happen here in this finals. But because I'm gonna say this, and we'll get to them here very shortly, but it's going to be hard to compete with either Spurs or Thunder. They've had an incredible series. Again, we're going to touch on it here in a minute, but it's I'm hoping that the Knicks are well prepared for this. They have all this time to rest until we get started with the finals. So, but shout out to New York. Their fans are loyal. They if they win this all, they're gonna have a blast there in New York. And so shout out to them for getting this far and finally having some success after 27 years. Shout out
Yeah.
to them.
Uh,
But
but Levi, let's
um,
go to the
uh,
opposite side of that series real fast and talk about the Cavs.
yeah, yeah, hmm
So
yeah. So
I don't know if
um,
I don't know if you saw, but I'm gonna get your thoughts on this because again, like you follow LeBron and like are familiar with the Cavaliers to some degree, and you're also from Ohio, so you have some familiarity with the Cavaliers.
mhm.
Um, there have been some quotes put out after the Knicks swept the Cavs. Kenny Atkinson saying that, oh, but if you like look analytically, we're the better team, like we should be up. It's technically 2-1 advantage of us as a team, and it's a lot of people dunked on Kenny Atkinson. A lot of people dunked on James Harden because James Harden again choked in the playoffs when the lights were brightest. Um, there's just a lot of blame to go around for the Cavs. And we'll get into what they've already done. Like the Cavs already announced that they're retaining Kenny Atkinson as head coach, and they've already said that they're going to try to retain James Harden as on the team. Um, I just want to get your thoughts on where do you think the blame lies the most with the Cavs?
you know, the hardest part to to talk about with that is the blame has to go to the whole team, like it or not. There's little things that each player you could probably say have impacted the series the way they should have done things. But it falls on to the coaching staff, the way that they're talking to their players, the way they're telling them to play. it's really hard for me to even put a lot of blame on the Cavs just because this Knicks team was they're a very good Knicks team that felt like they were dominant and are an unstoppable force. Because you mean if you look at the Cavs last season, like these guys, they were in contention again. I mean, didn't they get where did they get to last year? Didn't they get to the conference semifinals against the Pacers?
I believe it was
I believe.
conference finals, if I remember correctly. Let me look it up real fast for you.
Co- I think it was conference semifinals if I recall. But this they have a great roster. This team's ready to go win it. But um, to be honest, I think the biggest thing, James Harden probably should not be there. I've personally been a James Harden hater. It's kind of my similar stance on how I feel about Kevin Durant. This player's been all over the league for several years. He's never consistent with one team. Uh, Exclude LeBron from this conversation. I'll leave that under the table. But in terms of actual success, LeBron has had more success than James Harden, and James Harden has been with several different teams and still ends up with the same results. I believe he's only been appeared once in the NBA Finals, and he hasn't gotten there
He's
since.
never.
Like
He's
he's
oh
never
no,
okay,
you're actually right.
even
He's
worse.
no, you're correct. He was on that 2012 Thunder team. My apologies. You're
Okay,
right.
yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, so he's only made one Finals appearance. Didn't even win that. He lost to LeBron, but um, this personally. I think he's washed. He still puts up some pretty okay numbers, but I don't think him coming into a team is really bringing the biggest impact that each team would want to say, and it kind of goes into what I briefly talked about with the Steelers. Cavs need to be looking for new talent. They need to be bringing in newer, younger guys that are going to improve this team, not veteran status guys who may just get you far enough. And James Harden is one of those guys that I think is holding them back a little bit. I think if you bring in some new young guy next year, do you guys make it to the conference finals? You probably get there again, and you might go on to win the NBA finals from there. But I think I think veteran guys is what probably drowns them the most. I honestly I know they got farther this year. I thought they were better last year. Personally, I thought that Cavs team was a little bit better.
Yeah.
But like and
Um.
like I said, I just think the Knicks is definitely the better team, and they weren't ready for that 100%.
Yeah. I also looked up that Pacers Knicks series. That was the conference finals from last
Okay,
year.
yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
thought.
Um. My point of view on the Cavs was again because I watched that series from start to finish, and there's a video of me like talk about the fact that again like the Knicks Cavs series is going to be awesome. I thought it was going to go 7 games. Man, I was wrong because after the Cavs blew that 22 point, I think it was like 22 or 24 point lead against the Knicks in Game One, it broke them. Like it legitimately broke them as a team. And there was a lot of talk prior to the series that James Harden has to step up because he was playing awful. I mean, at one point he had as many turnovers as he had field goals made in the playoffs. And he disappeared again. He had, I think it was like 12 points in 5 turnovers in their
Yeesh.
game 4 loss. He played terrible. And again, the biggest problem lies in the fact that the Cavaliers just again, like you said, there's a multitude of factors. I think really overall, Kenny Atkinson just didn't prepare the team well. He didn't adjust. He didn't get the team like back up and like saying, "Hey, like we got punched in the mouth, like we had them in Game 1. Let's just go out there and just get a game, just get one game."
Mhm.
And I understand that how like some Cavs fans are probably saying like, "Oh, we gotta fire Kenny Atkinson." I think Kenny Atkinson's a decent coach. I don't think that he deserves to be fired. Albeit, I think that his comments about the whole like, "Oh, like we like analytically we're expected to win. We're up like 2-1." That's loser talk in my opinion. Like, don't bring up analytics when in actuality like you're not winning, you're losing. Um, and really, again, like Levi, you probably know, bringing up analytical talk in the regular season is totally fine to like tell the fan base, like, hey, like we're playing okay. We're just not like we're gonna click soon, and that's totally fine. To bring that up in the playoffs when it matters the most, and you're down 3-0, and you're saying, well, technically we're up 3-1, or technically we're up a 2-1 analytically. It's like, no, you're down 3-0. Act and coach like you're
Mm-hmm.
down 3-0 and just get a game. Do something. And the problem is, like, game 4, dude, like, it was over by halfway through the third quarter. Like, you can tell it was
Mm-hmm.
done. Like, the Cavs were defeated. James Harden just didn't want to be there anymore. He wanted to go home. Everybody probably knows where he's going to go to afterwards. I'm not going to say it on the podcast because, NBA fans, if you know, you know. Um, and overall, like I again, like it's just an overall, not just a team failure, it's an organizational failure. And I think the trade for James Harden, Darius Garland is going to really bite the Cavs in the butt because again, James Harden isn't getting any younger. You already had a good player in Darius Garland. You got rid of him because he couldn't play with Donovan Mitchell. But James Harden's already proven the fact that he didn't play well this whole postseason. He he in fact you could arguably say like he was the reason why the Cavs lost because the fact that defensively speaking he was terrible. Jalen Brunson literally, and again I saw this throughout the whole entire series. They were isoing James Harden multiple times on pick and rolls to bully him because they know the fact that defensively he's terrible. And
Mm-hmm.
the Knicks did that time and time and time again. And really the Knicks were just playing 4-on-5 basketball every time James Harden was out on the floor. And really overall that's probably one of the main reasons why the Cavs lost, but I don't think it's the main reason.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that need to change. I'm personally okay with them not firing their coach. So again, it's all still stems. I think the Knicks are an incredible team, and they were just going to be a tough team to beat. I just don't think it was quite as embarrassing to like how Orlando Magic ended things with their playoff game. This just felt like a team that was probably destined to go and maybe win the NBA Finals. So I can't say that a firing is deserved for the Cavs. He was their coach last season, right?
Kenny
Is
Atkinson?
that correct? Yeah.
Yes, he was.
Was
I believe he was.
yeah.
Yes.
So he's taken them back to back playoffs. Again, I thought they were a little bit better last year, so things just didn't turn out the way they wanted this year. But I think they'll be ready to come back next year. I think with some changes to certain players being on the team, I think, like I already said, should be handled. But I think this team will be ready to go and compete next year. They're gonna have to go deal with the Pacers again when they come back with Halliburton getting back from his season-ending injury from last year. So, but I think they'll be ready to come and play next year. But on the opposite end of the spectrum, they're still waiting their opponent. And again, we got the Spurs and Thunder going on. Um, Thunder just took the lead last night, leading 3-2 in the series. Uh, Peter, you've been watching a little bit of this series. What's your kind of takes on the way things are going between these two teams that are probably with this conference final game are probably this is probably our NBA Finals matchup because these two teams are just back and forth, and it seems like whoever wins the series is probably going to win it all. What are you thinking?
Um I mean that game 5 I think is going to be the definitive game. I think that the Thunder are probably going to win game 6 tomorrow. Um and overall like I think uh NBA fans are just very frustrated cuz to Levi, can I be honest with you? This series has been awful to watch. It's been awful.
And
Like
why would you say it's been awful?
I I just want to point this out right now. I don't think like everyone's talking like, oh, like the Thunder flop, they flop, they flop, and I'm just like, I can see it to a certain degree, but the officiating this series has just been horrible. There was a whole sequence where, uh, like the Spurs were supposed to get defensive goaltending, and they're supposed to get 2 points. They didn't get that because no joke, like the imagine like this is the rim and this is the ball. The ball was like right here, and the player went and just like knocked the ball away as it was clearly going down into the hoop. They didn't call
Yeah.
that goaltending, even though like the replay clearly showed no, that's goaltending. And even the announcing team was like, that's goaltending. Why didn't they call it? Um,
Hmm.
and then I think what else happened was the fact that the Spurs turned the ball over. It went off of Chet Holmgren's foot. Mitch Richmond looked back at his bench. The bench was like, challenge it. He then did the whole challenge it, but the refs not seeing it because apparently they're like the three blind mice out there. Just saw Mitch Richmond as the ball was going in when they clearly should have on the dead ball should have been looking at the Spurs bench and go, are they going to challenge this? And Mitch Richmond was like doing this, clearly doing it before the ball was inbounded. The refs went down the court. Mitch Richmond got ticked off and was like, what are you guys doing? Like, I'm calling for a replay challenge on that turnover because it went off of Holmgren's foot. And the refs are just like, technical foul. You can't, tell us that you were doing a replay challenge, even though he had every right to. And Mitch Richmond was like ticked off. And then a player got technical foul in the process of that because he got ticked off. And no joke, it went from a 5-point game to where the Spurs were in to a 10-point game. And they never looked back. You can clearly tell the Spurs in the press conferences are more than frustrated with the officiating in this game. And let's just be honest, too. It's like, Adam Silver came out today, right before we went on this podcast, and was in a press conference. He was talking about, we're going to use artificial intelligence to teach our referees how to look for flopping.
Hmm.
Really?
I don't know how you really
You're going to use
that.
AI to detect flopping? My brother in Christ, you have 3 human beings out there with eyeballs that can't detect flopping. You have one official that literally was looking at the Spurs bench. Apparently, like Stevie Wonder put sunglasses on, walked down that sideline, was completely oblivious to the fact that the Spurs were trying to call for a replay challenge. Like, what are
They
we
must
doing?
have been looking the other way. They must have been looking the other way when every single quote unquote foul did or didn't happen.
Yes, and as a fan, to me, every time I watch the Thunder play, it's bad. Like, as a basketball fan, and Levi, I'm a big basketball fan. This is truly, truly awful to watch. And again, I don't think that it's not really the Thunder's fault. I think the Thunder are just taking advantage of a broken system in place by the NBA, and the NBA refuses to fix it. And
Yeah.
it's getting to the point where, dude, in the year of our Lord 2026, Levi, the nation is going to be rooting for a New York team to win.
Oh yeah.
Let that
Hundred
sink in.
percent.
If the Thunder win, the whole entire nation is rooting for the Knicks, except
It is
OKC.
pretty crazy on how everybody turned on the Thunder after they won their first finals last year, and now just like that, the light has switched completely. It's crazy, and we see why it has happened. It's just still crazy, regardless, to see how quickly someone will turn on a team after they've already won a championship. And to me, I'm not surprised. Going on to like further emphasis just on all the fouls that get called. Shea last night when he was playing, he half of his points came from free throws. He scored 16 points off of free throws. He had 32 points in total. Like if that does not give further emphasis on the Thunder taking advantage of all the fouls that get called, this is clearly that example right here.
Yeah, I just think overall, like, you can tell, like, Wembanyama, like, when he, like, went out, they put in Mason Plumlee and Bismack Biyombo. Shout out Bismack Biyombo. He's still in the league, apparently. Um, you can tell Jared McCain came in. And Jared McCain was popping off because, again, Jared McCain's been having a terrific playoff run. You can clearly tell Victor Wembanyama said, and I quote, foul him hard. He whispered that he was like, foul him hard. And they did it twice on back to back because the Spurs are just like, hey, you might take this serious, but we're going to draw some blood because this, like, overall, like, everybody in really basketball is rooting for the Spurs right now, if you're not an OKC fan.
Mm.
And again, I have no horse in this race. I just want to be entertained. I'm not being entertained by OKC. Every time it's Levi, it's kind of like watching the Patriots when they just dominated the NFL. And you're just like, how does this team keep getting away with every tiny nook and cranny call on the field? Like, it was clear and apparent the NFL hated the freaking Patriots, clear as day.
Oh yeah.
But when it comes to the Thunder, like, the NBA has to do something going into next year where they have to bring back really overall like really punish teams that are trying to draw fouls. Because, like, again, people are talking about like, oh, like this Thunder team couldn't compete in the 90s. Dude, if this team competed in the 90s, it's not a basketball game. It's an MMA fight. Because somebody is going to get dropped. And again, I think people are going to be divided when they hear this and say, oh, like, but the Thunder are like, they play the right way. You're just salty. Dude, as a casual basketball fan, you sit down, you watch that game. Are you entertained by watching the OKC Thunder? I'm pretty sure 99% of people would say no. It's not entertaining to watch. It is bad to watch. I would rather watch the Harlem Globetrotters. And that they don't even play real basketball. I need Danhausen from the WWE to go, you are cursed on the Thunder. You know Danhausen, right?
I'm familiar with him.
Dude, he uncursed the Knicks. Dude, he has the funniest thing of all time to do and just appear on Inside the NBA on ESPN now and just go, oh, I'm Danhausen. I want some human teeth. But OKC Thunder, you are cursed. He has a chance to do the funniest thing. But also, please, for the love of God, Knicks, do us all a favor. Get Danhausen courtside seats. It'll be hilarious. It'd be dumb, but it'd be very funny. But yeah, like, overall, to circle back to the Thunder series, like, I don't need to be a dead horse. Like, I think the Thunder are going to win the next game. Am I happy about it? No. But again, who would have thought in 2026 America was going to rally around a New York team to win a championship and be happy about it? If you went back to the 2000s and said that, back when the Yankees were like dominant, I'm pretty sure everyone will look at you with like stink eye and go, so you're a bandwagon. But that's just my 2 cents on it.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see how it closes out. We're moving for the Spurs. I hope it gets to them. When it gets to the finals, I'm not too sure who I want to root for, but it does seem pretty enticing to go and root for the New York Knicks. That's all I'll say. But so, Peter, I believe you have a game ready for us to play.
Yes. Okay. So for everyone watching this, we're going to be doing Guess My Category. So here's how it's going to go. Levi is going to write down a category. I'm going to write down a category. We have to start selecting players, whether or not they fit that category. Let's just say, for example, NFL Hall of Famers. If I say, Levi, does Ben Roethlisberger fit the category? And your category is NFL Hall of Famers. You would say Ben Roethlisberger does not fit the category because technically right now he's not a Hall of Famer. Even though he's going to be in the Hall of Fame, he's technically right now not in the Hall of Fame. But if I say, Levi, can I have Dan Marino? Levi says, yes, you can have Dan Marino. I can start whittling down and go, okay, is it 4,000 passing yard seasons? Is it MVPs? Is it NFL Hall of Famers, and you're just trying to build a criteria on, boom, like who is like what is Levi's NFL category. So we'll go one at a time. Levi, I'll give you a little bit of time to write down your category. I already have my category written down.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah. Okay, I like that. Yeah. Um yeah, that's a good thing. Let me if you want to go first with your category while I look some stuff up, by all means.
do you have your category written down?
Not yet, but I have a good idea of what I want to go with. I
Well,
just
then you
gotta
have to.
confirm a few
Well,
things.
well, then, well, then you have to guess mine because
Okay,
I have
sure.
I
Let's
have
do
my
it.
categories written down.
Let's do it then.
All right, so Levi, you go ahead and select your first player.
Okay. Hmm. I'm gonna say Saquon Barkley. Does he fit your category?
Saquon Barkley does not fit my category.
Okay.
Wait?
How
Do
about?
you? Again, we go
By the
we
way,
go we go current current.
current. Okay, gotcha.
We're going with
Okay.
current NFL players right now. Uh, do you have
Yeah.
your category written down?
Yes, I
Okay.
got it.
Um, does TJ Watt fit your category?
TJ Watt. No, he does not.
Okay.
Does Jameer Gibbs fit your category?
Jameer Gibbs does not fit my category.
He does not. Okay.
Does Patrick Mahomes fit your category?
Let me
Uh
confirm
oh.
that.
Ladies and
I'm
gentlemen,
gonna
if
say
you're
he
listening to
probably
this, he is
does.
looking. If ladies and gentlemen, he is currently typing on his keyboard. He is looking this up right now.
I am pretty positive that I'm pretty positive that this guy actually makes that category. Yes, he does. He does make that category.
Okay, interesting.
Um,
That could mean a multitude of different things.
yeah, it could. Does Mike Evans fit your category?
Ooh, I believe so. Hold up, give me 1 second. I think he does fit the category, but let me. I'm gonna say tentatively right now. Yes, he does. He does fit the category. I just looked this up. Yep.
He does fit your category. Okay.
Mike
Okay.
Evans does fit the category. Does Jalen Hurts fit the category?
Pretty positive that he does as well. No, he does not fit my category.
Okay, so that kind of sucks. I was really hoping it would be Jalen Hurts. That would really will it down for me.
Does George Pickens fit your category?
George Pickens does fit my category.
He does.
Correct.
Correct. He does. Okay. Okay.
All right. I am now in Spain, but without the S because I am lost. Current NFL. Does Matt Stafford fit the category?
I'm almost certain he does. Yeah, he fits my category.
Okay, so yes to Matt Stafford.
Oh, this is interesting, man. This is fun. I like this.
I'm trying to will this down. I think I have
Okay.
an idea, but I'm not like up. Like I'm torn between like two different categories. I need some like clearer detail. That might help.
Does AJ Brown fit your category?
AJ Brown does fit my category.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. I think he. Don't quote me on that, Levi. Let me just look this up real fast. I'm pretty positive he does.
Okay.
Now, mind you, are you going off of last season or going off of their career stats?
Um
You better be
well,
basing
we're
this
talking
off
about
career
current
stats.
players, We're talking about current players, but I am talking about all time stats
for their career.
for career. Yes.
Okay, you said all time. I'm just like what? Yes,
Sorry.
AJ Brown
Yeah,
does fit the
I
category.
meant career,
I'm
but
just
yeah,
I was being dumb. Okay, does Dak Prescott fit your category?
Dak Prescott does not fit my category.
Okay, so I kind of have an idea now.
Let's see a pattern here. Does Christian McCaffrey fit your category?
Ooh, give me 1 second. I He might be close.
Might be close. Okay. Hmm. Interesting. Interesting.
Very interesting. Yes, he does fit my category. I think Levi has it locked down. Now, mind you, also Levi, for this game as well, you have to, if you're going to guess the category, that's going to be one of your guesses,
It's
and
gonna
then
be
it'll go
okay.
back to
That's
me.
fine.
Does that make sense? Okay.
Yeah.
All
Yeah, it
right.
does.
So, does Aaron Rodgers fit the category?
Oh, I'm I'm pretty certain he does. I mean, but I better look it up just to make sure. Uh
Okay.
Really?
So,
No, he does not fit my category.
what?
He
Okay,
does
now
not
I'm
fit.
lost. He doesn't fit the
Man,
category?
no, he does not fit my category. Wow. Man, I
What?
mean, I know I've had quite a few guys here that fit my category, but I am still very lost on where you're going with this.
You're way
This is a
closer
little hard.
to guessing it than me. I
I
am
mean,
lost.
that's the crazy thing, but I'm trying. The thing is, I'm just trying to align things up to see what is the continued pattern between the players that you've given me so far, and that's
It should
a
be
little
very
troubling.
easy. It's your guess because
I'm
I'm lost.
yeah.
I have to rebound a little bit.
Hmm.
Current
Okay, I
NFL
need to go
Q.
a
You
step.
said yes to. Okay,
I gotta go in. I gotta go step in a different direction. Is Miles Garrett in your category?
no.
No, he's not. Okay, okay. I think I've got. I have a somewhat decent idea of where to go.
Uh, does Travis Kelsey fit your category?
I don't think. No, there's no way he fits this category, right? No, yeah, no, he doesn't fit this category.
I am okay. That was a waste of a guess too, because okay, I'm lost. I'm
I feel like
lost.
I need to make a guess, but I'm still not 100% certain where I need to go with this. So, I'm gonna say, hmm, I gotta do another direction. Is is CJ Stroud in your category?
No. Oh my gosh. Yes, Mahomes. Oh, does Sam Darnold fit the category?
I'm sure our fans are loving just hearing the constant typing of us looking stuff up. No, he does not fit my category.
Dude, I am lost. I have no idea. Levi,
Yeah.
you just might as well. Levi, you know this. Like, if you just look at the stats, like each one of the players I said, like easily has a commonality.
I think I think I got your commonality. Is it players with at least 1,000 yard seasons?
Yes, 1,000 yard receiving seasons. Yep.
Okay. Okay.
What was
All
your
right.
category? I am so
Do
lost.
you want to take one more stab at it?
I mean, it's gonna have to be my final guess. I'm gonna say Super Bowl
Go ahead.
MVP.
So, oh no. Give me one last player to see if you put the pieces together.
I have no idea because you said
It's the
yes
final.
to Stafford, yes to Mahomes. Current
Mm-hmm.
player
Mm-hmm.
does
Yeah, you give this one more final shot and then give a guess for category.
Because
Name a player. Any player.
it's not Sam Darnold because you already said no. I'm gonna say Caleb Williams. It's gonna be a no.
I'm yeah, I'm pretty sure is a no. Yeah, he doesn't. Yeah, he's a no. What do you think? What do you think? If you've, I don't know
I
if you've
have
been looking
I
up the stats. I feel like there's one commonality that you should notice. I don't know if you've been looking that stuff up, but
I'm
I
gonna
feel like it would be like
say 4,500 plus yard passing season.
you were close. 5,000 yard passing seasons. Every player that you got right had at least 5,000 yard season, and that's obviously a QB exclusive stat, pretty much.
I'm very positive that those are the only two players that are current that's at a 5,000 plus passing yard season. That wasn't even close on my
Yeah.
radar. Okay.
Wait. Did you write down who you got right?
Yes, I had two. I had Mahomes and I had
Who?
Stafford.
Oh, not a lot. Not a lot to go off of.
No. Wait, you said no to Dak, right?
No, Dak Prescott. He did not have. He's not had a
Oh yeah,
1,000
I
or
see it.
I'm sorry,
He was
5,000 yard
100
season.
yards
Yeah,
short of 5K season. Okay.
he was
All right.
very short, and that's why I also had to double check the Aaron Rodgers thing because I thought he did, but he did not have a 5,000 yard season either.
All right. So you take this round. Do you have your next
Okay.
category?
Um. Hmm. 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 Yeah. Yeah. I got one. I got one in mind. Well, since I won, why don't you start with your guess?
Okay. Oh my gosh. All right, sorry, give me one moment. I'm trying to. Okay. Does this is current. Does Saquon Barkley fit your category?
No, he does not.
Okay.
Does um does Minka Fitzpatrick fit your category?
No. He does not, not even close.
No. Okay, okay.
Um does Puka Nakua fit your category?
No, he does not fit my category.
Okay, so this kind of sucks.
Does David Montgomery fit your category?
No.
No.
Does Kenneth Walker fit your category?
No.
Dang. That was going to Super Bowl MVPs. Frick. Okay.
Does Brock Purdy fit your category?
No. Uh, does trying to think. Does TJ Watt fit your category?
Yes, he does.
Okay.
Does Jalen Waddle fit your category?
No, he does not. Does Miles Garrett fit your category?
Yes, he does.
Okay, I kind of have an idea now.
Does Derrick Henry fit your category?
No, he does not.
Gosh, man.
Is your category players that have had a 20 plus sack season?
No.
Frick. Okay, that kind of sucks.
Does Jalen Ramsey fit your category?
No.
My gosh, what in the world?
Dude, you're having the same look I had.
I haven't. Yeah, I can't get anybody here. This is
All right,
insane.
is your category players that have won Defensive Player of the Year?
No.
I beg your pardon?
Nope, it's not that. Does Jackson Smith and Jigba fit your category?
No.
I can't believe this. This is impossible. Now I know how you feel.
Does Micah Parsons fit the category?
Let's see. Uh, no, he does not.
Okay, so that really hurts me.
Yeah, it does. Does Jamar Chase fit your category?
No. Does Nick
Okay.
Bosa fit your category?
Nick Boza. Yes, he does fit my category. Does Hunter Henry fit your category?
No.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna lose my mind here.
Is it
You
players
better. I
that
hope
have
you. I just hope at this point you get it.
is your category 15 plus sacks in a season?
15 plus sacks. Thank you for getting it. Oh my gosh,
Levi,
I thought you were gonna really lose it.
Levi, do you want to know what my category was?
What was your freaking category?
It was 15 plus sacks in a season.
Are you kidding me? Are you serious? That's what I want. I thought. See, I almost thought about guessing some of the guys that you've guessed on mine for defense. I can't believe you also went 15 plus sacks. That's crazy.
I just want to point this out to people.
Clearly,
We did not discuss this. This is like we did this on a whim. So all
oh
right.
my
So we're tied
gosh.
1-1. We're tied 1-1. Let's make sure this is a quick round. Okay?
Yes, a quick round.
All right.
Okay.
I have my category. Do you have your category?
Yes, I do.
Okay. I won. You go first.
Okay. Is Romeo Dobbs in your category?
No.
No.
Does Travis Kelsey fit your category?
Yes, he does.
Oh boy. We're off to a great start.
Wonderful. Is
Phenomenal.
Drake May fit your category? Drake May?
Let me check. I don't believe so. No, he does not.
Darn. Okay.
Does trying to think. Brock Bowers fit your category?
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he
Okay,
fits my category.
so we're off to a great start.
Does Dalton Kincaid fit your category?
No.
No. Okay.
Mm-mm. I'm gonna say does Colston Loveland fit the category?
uh Pretty positive. I'm thinking of the right guy. Yeah, he fits that category.
Okay. All right.
Man, this guy has not missed yet. Meanwhile, here I am trying to guess: is C.J. Gardner Johnson in your category?
No, not even close.
Oh my gosh!
Chat, he's kind of cooked.
You know what? I know I haven't got anything yet, but I actually have one theory. Go ahead.
That's a game theory. Sorry, I had to do that. Does gosh, who was that one player that was really good last year? Because all of them are tight ends. Trying to think also who had like does Puka Nakua fit the category?
No.
Okay. So one of these things is not like the others.
He's on to something. Is Tyler Bass fit your category?
Tyler Bass, the kicker? No.
Yes.
No.
No. Okay. Darn, I thought I was cooking there. Peter's having a tough time.
Because it's obviously I am blanking on a tight end from last year that had an amazing season. Okay. Let's take a step back. Tight ends that have had a 1,000 plus yard receiving season.
No, that is not my category.
Gosh flippin' darn it.
You are making this very difficult. Is Aiden Hutchinson in your category?
Ooh, no, he does not fit the category.
There's some stat you were looking at though. I know it. That
No, I was looking up
almost
for
fits that.
my sake to guess your category, not your category. I already know what my category is. Like you're getting close. You're getting close with the whole entire Aiden Hutchinson thing. Just
Mm-hmm.
start thinking more like big name players.
I gotcha. I gotcha. Okay.
It's like I gotcha. Does Trey McBride fit the category?
Yes, he fits the category.
I okay. I need to get off this
Right.
tight end train. I am lost. Is this
Does
category?
TJ Watt fit your category?
No, he does not fit my
No.
category. Does Mike Evans fit the category?
No. I can't wait for you to figure out my category. Is Trayvon Walker in your category?
No.
No.
Can I give you a hint?
Sure.
To get off defense.
Okay. I was thinking it had to be something within lines of defense. Okay.
Yeah, no, get off defense. Go offense.
Oh. Oh, get off defense. Oh, okay. Okay. Interesting. That's a
Okay.
interesting
Can I
direction
just
there.
say this? Can I say this? Is it
Okay.
NFL tight ends?
That's the category. I went broad. I went broad with my category. Just tight ends.
Okay. I thought it had to be
Yeah.
uberly specific with the tight ends.
What in the world? Is I don't even know this guy. You probably don't either. Is John Michael Schmitz Jr. in your category?
What in the Madden
He's a
generated
center.
name player is that?
He's a center for the Giants.
No, he does not fit the category. Do you want to know what the category is?
Let's hear it.
NFL Offensive Player of the Year award winners.
Oh, that's a very specific category. That's hard.
Yeah, but you could
It's
have
a
gone
good
with like
one.
Jackson Smith and Jigba, Christian McCaffrey, Saquon.
Hmm.
That could have like given you
That's a good one.
is a good one.
Yeah, I
All
guess I
right.
should have tried to guess a big name. Good one. Very well done. Well done.
Yep. Well done. Hey, you won a round. You won a round.
Hey, that was a pretty incredible round. I must say so myself, personally. But 5,000 yard thing threw you off so much.
Yes, it
That was
did.
hard. Yeah.
All
Well,
right,
we have
Levi,
once
do you have a
again reached
couch?
the end of another episode, and we do have a couch ready for us to rank here. And you know what? We didn't go AI this time. We didn't do an obscure, abnormal couch. This is a regular old couch here. What do you think?
It's a nice couch. It's better than the cactus one. Definitely better than the gorilla one. Nice, plain, simple. I'm gonna give it a 7.2 out of 10.
Would
It's
you let
nice.
this couch sit in your house?
Potentially.
Given the decor and everything, factoring all that in, would this fit in your
I mean,
house?
again, it's a decent couch, but I don't. I it doesn't really fit my. It doesn't fit my house at all.
Okay. The pillow's a nice touch. It looks like a
Yeah,
That's
pedals are
very
a nice
comfortable.
touch.
Nice.
It looks nice, but I give it a 7.2. It's a good couch.
This looks like a couch that you are probably seeing in a dorm room in like an
Oh
apartment.
yeah, like yeah, dorm apartment, yeah, or like a college apartment, yeah.
Yeah,
This
gives off
gives
that
off
vibe.
big Walmart vibes.
Walmart, yep. We just went to
Walmart,
Walmart and got this couch.
just
That's
it's a
right.
it's a cheap couch.
Yeah, but if we were in our situation back in the dorm or in the apartment, I'd mess with this
We
couch.
should have
I'm
gotten
gonna give
that
it a
couch over
7.
the futon any day of the week that we had.
Hey, the futon, bro. You say you know what? I'll put that futon on as one of our couches we bring next time. But I will die for that futon. It was comfortable. Turned in obviously futons are made to be beds too, but I loved that thing. Say what you will, it was comfortable.
It had a metal frame to it. Let's just be honest; it was not comfortable to sit on after a long period.
Uh, that's why you have the stuffing, all that stuff inside it, so that you don't even feel the metal frame that you're laying on.
Yeah, you and I will get into that later when we discuss it. I have some memories from that futon I want to share.
Well, just yeah, if you guys want to hear like some of our fond memories, whether it's sport related or by chance couch related, let us know in the comments. Love to share some of the personal story. Peter and I go way back, and oh boy, there's certainly some sports stories that could be told that um, I would refuse to talk about. Let's just say that, but Peter would. He'd be all ears for it,
Yeah.
and he knows what I'm talking about too.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Very much so.
Anyway, Peter, what are we watching here this week?
Obviously, Thunder and Spurs. Obviously, Hurricanes and the Canadiens right now. Again, like like Carolina's probably going to be up 3-1 by the end of tonight when we get done recording. But Levi, I'm also going to be probably playing that new 007 game that came out.
007. There's a new video game.
Yeah, there's a new 007 video game, not sponsored by the way. But I'm interested in going through and playing that. I haven't seen the new Star Wars movie yet. No spoilers. No spoilers, please. But yeah, that's pretty much what I'm going to be doing and watching. I also got a church camp I'm going to be counseling at tomorrow. So I'm
Oh,
going
good
to
luck.
be I'm going to be literally in the middle of nowhere for like 2.5 days.
Sounds like a real blast. Meanwhile, over here, um, obviously we have the NFL, NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs going on. Um, the Reds are getting ready. Well, and on Friday they have a series against the Braves, so can probably guess how that series is going to turn out. Need Aiden here to go and further explain the downfall of the Reds. So
Salute.
can't
You
wait.
will be trying. You will be trying.
Cannot cannot wait for that. Other things I've been not necessarily watching, more so actually playing. I've been doing a little bit more outdoor activities, particularly pickleball. I've always been a pickleball fan, and actually just got done playing tonight. So always a lot of fun. I love to try and get out there as much as possible. Feels like one of those casual sports, kind of similar to golf. Still gets slightly aggressive, but a whole lot of fun and just a just an enjoyable sport to really get into.
Yeah. All right. I guess that's
Yeah.
everything. Again, to our viewers and our listeners, thank you very much for tuning in. Again, be sure to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Spotify at From the Couch. But in any case, this has been Levi. This has been Peter, and this has been From the Couch.
Thank you guys so much for watching. We will see you guys all next week. Be on the lookout for our social medias. A lot of exciting things coming up. So be on the lookout for that. And like you said, we appreciate you guys watching and for following us this far. So go out, enjoy your sports this week. Hope you guys have a wonderful week. Peace out.